He kōna I purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Kia ora, Pilini here from Culture 101. Every Sunday, just after 1:30, one of our regular reviewers checks out the latest on the big screen. This week, Dan Slevin is looking at The Invite, Evil Dead Burn and Islands. Kia ora, Dan.
Hello there. How are
Hello,
you?
good, thank you. Okay, let's start with The Invite, which is in cinemas now. It's directed by Olivia Wilde. There's been a lot of talk about this one. It's two neighbouring couples who come together for a dinner party and becomes a series of unexpected turns. Star cast here, Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde is in it as well, Edward Norton and Penélope Cruz. Let's have a listen to a clip.
Are you sure we are not interrupting something?
No, it's great. It's good. It's good for you.
Yeah?
It's great for us.
Okay.
Yeah, we love. Yep.
It took you a while to come to the door,
No, Taiwan.
and it sounded like you were arguing.
No filter.
No, I just want to be honest. We were at the door before we rang, and we could hear you were fighting.
Oh, we were talking.
We were fighting.
We were fighting. Yeah.
Bit of a contentious environment in here, so I understand if that's repellent to you. No hard feelings, you know what I mean? Completely understand, you know?
We love a contentious environment. We love it.
Okay.
Well,
Really, it's fine.
you hit the jackpot then, my friend. You're in for a treat.
So, okay?
Yeah, great.
Do we have to take our shoes off?
Oh God, no.
No, are you
No.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Hey,
Look at
Joe.
this place.
Yeah. Thank you.
Joe, be honest. Do you want us to take them off?
I don't give a f if you take your shoes off, personally.
There we go. Excuse me. All the clips that I've chosen for the segment today are from very early on in each of the films. That's basically the arrival of the upstairs couple into a, as they say, a contentious situation to start this dinner party. They have been invited by Angela and Joe to, I guess, try and... Angela and Joe wish to apologise for the noise that their flat renovations have been making, and Joe particularly wants to raise the issue that he is very top of mind for him, is that he wants to complain about the very loud sex that the couple Hawk and Pina have been having and keeping him awake, and this is just one of the sources of a disagreement, shall we say, between Angela and Joe. They're a couple whose relationship is very much on the rocks when we meet them, and it looks as if as the dinner party evening goes on, that the arrival of Hawk and Pina in their lives, will bring things to a head, shall we say? It's a fantastic story. It's got amazing bones. This was a Spanish stage play in the early part of the century that was adapted by the writer of the play to a Spanish film in 2020 called The People Upstairs. And this is the sixth film version since 2020. There's been versions of this been made in Switzerland, Italy, France, and South Korea, and now the USA. So it's a great story. It's got great bones. I know that people often have a real problem with the idea of a stage play being turned into a film. Like, how do you open it up? How do you not make it kind of stagey and boring and talky, if you know what I mean? And I've never really had that problem, because a good director will know that the camera itself can become a character, can become a participant in a
and the editing.
in a crowded room. And the editing, exactly. There's absolutely no problem at all with. It's a challenge, obviously, like every film is, but you should be able to make it cinematic. I once read a quote from Steven Soderbergh that said he said that the hardest scenes to block when you're a director are six people sitting around a table eating, and but it's not impossible. And I would say that Olivia Wilde, who is the director of this film, has absolutely nailed it. This is her third feature film. She made Book Smart and Don't Worry, Darling. And I feel like this is a director who is totally in control of the camera, the blocking, the composition. It is cinematic. It does use the visuals and the placement of the people in space and in relation to each other to tell the story and to make those relationships clear. It's obviously very funny because the original source material is very funny, and they've also got a talented improviser like Seth Rogen involved.
Yeah.
Edward Norton has contributed to the script as well, so that's on top of the adaptation that has been done by Will McCormack and the great actor Rashida Jones. So what really surprised me with this film, I knew that I was going to kind of enjoy the comedy of manners of it, but I was surprised at how much I would appreciate it cinematically. And there's a big movie out at the moment that there's a lot of talk about, and I think, like, in the end, taking a giant camera to Iceland and then having hundreds of extras covering themselves with mud and then not worrying too much about how you frame it because it's going to be coming out in 6 different versions with 6 different aspect ratios. Like, how hard is that really? Whereas Olivia Wilde has actually turned a constrained space for characters into something that is actually really pops off the screen. So, full credit to her.
Oh, excellent. I really want to go see that, and I just loved how deliciously awkward that clip was. You can really sort of feel it. So
it goes in some... Sorry, I just want to say that I don't want to reveal too much because the directions that the story takes are just so surprising and so human and so entertaining, and it really does. Yeah, it goes in some really wild, literally wild directions.
Okay.
Try not to know too much about it before you go in.
Okay. The Invite, that's in cinemas now. Next on your list is Evil Dead Burn. Now, this is the third in the rebooted version of the franchise that started in 1981 with the micro-budget horror film The Evil Dead. This was filmed in New Zealand last year. It was filmed here. So there's a number of local talents in front and behind the camera. But a bereaved woman thinks that her dead husband's family home will be the place to find solace, but couldn't be more wrong. Here is a clip.
Where's the wedding ring?
Why aren't you wearing it?
Did you sell it? You get a good price.
No, of course not. Can I have the corkscrew, please?
And a hoodie and sneakers at her husband's funeral?
I'm right here, Edgar. You can speak to me directly.
You didn't even cry. Don't you think that's weird?
People grieve in different...
Get away from me!
That's enough. Then
It's your fault he's dead. You didn't stop him getting to the car!
Stop it, Dad. I had nothing to do with it. Will got into a fight with Alice and he
What?
listened to...
Are you implying it was my fault?
No, of course not.
You were there. You couldn't stop him from getting in a car
Alice,
either.
no, I tried.
We tried. Okay, I didn't. That doesn't mean it's my fault.
That's not what I'm saying,
This is exactly
Alice.
what you said.
No.
Alice, I think you should all mind your own business. You don't know anything.
You're glad he's dead.
Please. Will's looking down on us from above.
From above. He's down below.
One of the things that people don't, I think, really appreciate about the film reviewing gig is that it's a creative act in itself. It's an act of imagination. And one of the great acts of imagination, the imaginative leaps that I have to make when I'm talking about something like Evil Dead Burn, is that I have to imagine that I am the kind of person that really enjoys these films so that I can sort of treat them with the respect that the craft deserves. It's not really my sort of thing, but I have to go and put myself in the shoes of somebody who really does. I have enjoyed the early rounds of the Evil Dead films, the Sam Raimi films from the 1980s and 90s, because they had a sort of core of a sense of humour about them. There was a lot of gore, there was a lot of blood, but there was also there was humour about it. The other thing that helps me get into horror films and gets me through all of the blood, the gore, and the body horror, etc., is if there's some kind of moral compass or moral centre to it. Now, unfortunately, Evil Dead Burn doesn't have either of those things. It's not particularly amusing or light-hearted at any point, and it also seems to be more intent on keeping the sort of the lore, if you like, of the Evil Dead universe alive and able to be kicked on to yet another film at the conclusion of it. I am extremely respectful, though, of the craft involved. The New Zealand production people that worked on it, there's an enormous amount of practical effects. One of the things about Evil Dead that everybody knows is that there's always a huge amount of blood involved. I once tried to find the rights to Evil Dead the musical, Polina, which I'm sure you're already aware of, and that's a fantastic show in which the front 3 rows of the audience have to wear kind of plastic ponchos because there's so much blood coming off the stage.
I didn't know that actually.
Somebody should definitely do it. I wasn't able to, but it's the. There's an enormous amount of gore and flaying of flesh and some innovative ways in which to not kill people because the Evil Dead themselves come back to life and then become extremely hard to dispose of permanently. But I would say that there's really strong performances from 2 veterans, New Zealand veterans, Tandy Wright and Errol Shand, who you heard both of those people in that clip, and it's really nice to see them given something to kind of literally get their teeth into.
Awesome. So if you are a fan of the franchise or horror, this one might be for you, Evil Dead Burn. And lastly, Islands. Now this features Sam Riley playing a washed-up tennis coach at a Canary Islands resort. The arrival of a British family at first offers a welcome distraction, but then something more sinister. Here is a clip.
Excuse me. Hi.
Hello.
Tom, right?
Yeah.
You're the tennis coach?
It's me.
Reception said you'd be here. I'd like to book some tennis lessons for my son.
Okay. How old is he?
7.
Any experience?
A little, not much.
Well, the junior group's on Thursdays and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Just bring him along.
I think his father would prefer one-on-one lessons. He has a thing for tennis.
I'm afraid I'm fully booked this week, but the junior group's really good, you know? I make sure everyone has individual time and...
We could pay extra. Double.
It's not necessary. There's a slot tomorrow. There've been no shows the last couple of days. You could bring him along.
Thank you.
9 o'clock?
Perfect.
And that's Sam Riley as Tom, the tennis coach at a Canary Islands resort, and he's meeting Anne for the first time, and he's going to get involved with their family and Anton, their son, and he's kind of going to get unwittingly involved. And for a long while, I felt that this film was going to be the sunniest film noir ever. It's set in the sunny Canary Islands, but it does have quite a lot of mystery about it. Tom, this name seems to be inspired by Tom Ripley, but also I felt like, if I was going to criticise it, I would say that it just takes a little bit too long to get where it's going. You know, it is it's over 2 hours long, and it does meander, shall we say, but it is very atmospheric, and it's a really strong story that will keep you guessing right to the end.
Okay, and Sam Riley's got such a distinct voice, isn't he? I first saw him in Control.
Myself at the moment.
Yeah, that's Islands. Dan's recommendation there. Well, thank you so much for your films this week, Dan.
My pleasure. Thank you.